Alright, hello everyone. Let's say the motion was this House believes that progressive judges should heavily mitigate sentences for civil disobedience, where it's defined as, oh, you would not punish them even if they are found guilty, or that you would reduce their sentences. Notice that this motion, like many motions that are relatively more complex in debate, involves multiple clashes. For the purposes of this video, a clash is simply a disagreement in a certain issue in a debate. They can be summarized in questions such as, is it more likely that X or Y will happen? Or is it more important for us to consider X over Y? When thinking about clashes in terms of secondary and main clashes and their relationship with one another, then we can come to realize how debates are eventually won by certain teams, or why certain contentions become closer because of competing clashes. And it helps a lot to imagine debate or winning a debate as a series of winning different clashes and collating which clash was the most important, and the team that wins is the one that won the most clashes, or the clashes that mattered the most, that had most weight in the debate. Having said this, the easiest way to identify what the main and secondary clashes are in a debate are to list down all of the potential disagreements in a round. So for this motion, it would include whether civil disobedience should be punished more or not, whether civil disobedience contributes to better social justice or not, whether mitigating these sentences will produce better activism or not, and whether progressive judges have an interest or obligation to do this, and whether progressive judges particularly doing this is going to produce socially better outcomes or not. Writing out these clashes is generally easy, so long as you read the motion well, think about what opposition's arguments are likely to be, and also on an advanced level, if you are very diligent with identifying the true comparative, which I've already made multiple videos about. Then, after this, you can identify the secondary and main clashes by identifying the relationships between multiple clashes. Now, of course, all of these clashes can potentially be related to one another, but it doesn't have to be too overcomplicated. A secondary clash can contribute to two different main clashes in the debate, but as much as possible, we know that some clashes are just more critical to winning a certain issue, and so we want to be on the lookout for those dependencies. For example, the issue on whether mitigating these sentences is a popular move or not will eventually inform the broader contentious issue on whether progressive judges doing this is going to improve the justice system or not. In the same way, whether we should punish civil disobedience or not in general as a crime and reduce the punishment, it informs the clash on whether progressive judges doing this is going to be justified in the broader justice system. And I do say these particular examples in this debate because the practice of thinking of clashes as main or secondary ones will help reveal the best arguments. It is only when you unpack the issue on the right to civil disobedience and whether existing punishments are just is when you can make the argument that progressive judges doing this is necessary as a means to counteract the over-punitive and over-authoritarian incentives of conservative judges and states to excessively punish civil disobedience and suppress minority communities and minority justice. In the same way, opposition could indeed respond and make the argument that is exactly this inconsistency that produces more socially unjust outcomes, and it makes it harder to pursue future justice as well. And in my opinion, this makes our arguments more intentional with what clashes we want to win, without having to be bogged down by unnecessary and unstrategic clashes that do not really decide the debate for us. So I'm not saying to abandon the secondary clashes. In fact, I'm saying you have to be aware of them. You have to use them so that you could make a better argument for the main clashes in the debate. All right, that's it for today's video. Thank you and have a great day.